Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, massive carrion. That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Welcome to Forget Work, Watch Films with your hosts, Tony Howe, Thomas Connors, and Robert Connors.
Well, what's happening, everybody at home? Welcome to episode 9 of Forget Work, Watch Films. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, fine.
I'm good.
Very well, sir. Thank you.
Oh, you might have heard that additional voice. We have a special guest this week. His name's Paul Garnham. How's it going, Paul?
Very well, sir. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. You a fan?
I am a fan.
Very good.
Hang on. I thought that's how we were way with here. I thought it would like competition to be.
This is like
the
that.
listener can get on and be part of our podcast.
Donate,
I've never met him before.
Donate X amount to Forget Work, Watch Films. You can be a guest. You can meet the crew.
Where do you listen to this podcast? Is it? Would you say it's like a on the way to work podcast, or is it a bath time podcast?
I listen to it whilst I'm at work.
Oh God!
In the bath. He works.
Yeah.
He works in the bath.
He's in the bath. He's a bath tester.
So, let's.
Bath test.
One of the
Bath
first.
tester.
One of the first things we need to do is give a little shout out to Brad for these badass mugs that we've got. I think we'll put a post on our Instagram.
Yeah, Brad. Thank you very much. They are absolutely wicked.
Yeah, they are.
I've just surprised them with them. Brad runs a shop on Etsy called Hunky Dory Prints, where you can buy your own.
Get a customised mug shirt.
What's that company one more time, Tom?
Hunky Dory Print.
Yeah, you blowed his minds. They're awesome. Customised cup. Paul ain't got one though.
Well,
He's
he's
a special
yeah, 'cause
guest.
he's won the competition.
Yeah,
haven't he?
yeah, he's had enough special treatment.
He's been wined and dined today.
So yeah, episode 9. You know, we've had a few bits of feedback from people. You know, which we enjoy hearing. We've got some surprises lined up, possibly in the next few weeks. So yeah, keep your suggestions and whatever coming in comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe whatever you see online. So obviously a big topic this week is the Joker, right? We've all just been to watch it, but first of all, before we get into that, the trailer came on before it and was released online this week for the Harley Quinn movie. So what's everybody's general thoughts on that first, only while it's a current
What is
flavour?
the official name of that film? Is it the
It was supposed to be called
Emancipation?
Birds of Prey, but because I think they were worried that people wouldn't make any sense out of that, and obviously the fact that it's supposed to be Birds of Prey as a group in the comics, which consists of Huntress, Black Canary, and now Harley Quinn. So basically, they brought it, rather than just have like Birds of Prey, they've now made it all about Harley Quinn, and it's now called Birds of Prey: The Emancipation of Harley Quinn. That's what I think to it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, something like that. Yeah, I don't think it looks very good.
It looks, to me, it looks very Suicide Squad-ish, doesn't it?
Well, it is because it follows on from Suicide Squad.
But the whole tone of the film looks exactly the same, and to me, I kind of think, haven't we moved on from that? Suicide Squad didn't work, did it?
So, Paul, where do you think, from a public perception in the mass media nowadays, so how do you think the emancipation of Harley Quinn compares to the appeal that Suicide Squad across mainstream audiences?
I didn't understand the word of that either, Paul. So
A Cincture says what?
I think he said what. I think you're trying to say, what do you think?
What did you think to it?
Yeah, I agree with Rob. Very Suicide Squad. And I weren't a massive fan of that, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I would. But I think what they've got to do is they've got to. Obviously, it's the same character, same actress. They've got to follow on from that. So,
But do they though? This is what I'm...
well, they don't have to, but what they're saying, what they're probably bridging against is either nobody coming to see it, or the people who went to see Suicide Squad coming to see it. Do you know what I mean?
Or people who just like a bit of Margot Robbie as Harley
Do you
Quinn.
think it's playing into the Me Too movement of empowering women? Like it's a group of women teaming up, led by Harley Quinn, and she don't need no boyfriend. Her and the Joker broke
What
up.
it's trying to tie into is that Harley Quinn has become a massive character in DC Universe. Massive. She's got about 3-4 comics, appears in everything. And Margot Robbie was probably one of the highlights of that awful film, Suicide Squad. So what they're trying to do is tie into that. Because it's not about the Me Too movement. Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is because,
she's like a leader of a bunch of women in that film.
No, she ain't the leader.
Okay, look.
Well, they're just giving her more bloody airtime. But what we've noticed, or Rob noticed, is that they've moved away from the sexier Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. She's just a bit of TNA.
What do you
for
think
the fanboys?
What do you think to my one thing that I got from that trailer, right? And I don't want to spend too long on this because I think it looks shit. But at the end of the trailer, you see a shot of Harley walking straight to the camera with everything blowing up behind her. Is that a little bit Dark Knight-esque with Joker leaving the hospital? Is this showing, right, now it's Harley's turn, Harley's a badass?
Well, that to me is what the whole movie's about,
Exactly,
isn't it?
Wait.
Rather than focusing on what it's all about. I mean, you don't really see much at Birds of Prey. Clearly, you don't see much of that. You see a bit of Ewan McGregor.
They've made him...
He's
playing Black Mass, but a gay version of Black
But the entirety seems to be about emancipation from these characters like Joker, like Black Mass, etc., to become a sort of villain. They're making him more an anti-villain, which is basically what Venom... The main thing at the minute is anti-villains. Anti-heroes. So moving away from her being like a villain and being sort of like a hero who's sort of like on like the borderline between good and bad.
Which trailer was it that came up and said from the director of Venom? Was it that?
Zombieland 2.
Yeah.
That didn't fill me with confidence.
Ruben Flesh.
And which one?
Deadpool as well.
Oh yeah, the writer of Deadpool.
But which is the one where the writers of Deadpool?
Zombieland 2.
There were another one with that at all.
Deadpool 2.
Right, can I just put an end to this? Because what's interesting is, so Margot Robbie is coming back in Emancipation of, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, but they've written the Joker out, they've written a load of other characters out, phasing them off, and James Gunn's directing Suicide Squad Part 2, which will come back to that very topic, right? But first, second of all, Joker. What did it... See, I would actually like to go into everything what happens and talk about it, really flesh it out, but I know it's only just come out and people might not have seen it, so we'll try our best to avoid...
Should we just have a spoiler chat? Because you've seen it.
No, there'll be no spoilers, but I don't think...
Alright, put it this way.
I mean, to me, there's no real spoilers in it.
I don't know.
Now, right, you might think... I don't think there's any spoilers in it.
Alright, okay, put it this way.
Hold
on, guys.
There might be a bit of spoiler at ending, so...
If you really, really, really want to go into Joker, not knowing anything that happens, maybe skip on a little bit in this podcast. We're not going to purposely spoil it for you, but we are going to debate the film. But that is also good because when you do go and see it, this will be right here waiting for you. So we're going to go into it. What did everybody think to Joker?
Tony, what did you think? And if let's quickly so we can get round and then we'll discuss it.
It's good, but I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it, so I'm just going to say good.
I really enjoyed it. I did come out thinking that is a risky film to make because I think it could really spawn some nutcases around the world. But it one of them films. If I'd have left halfway through, I'd have been left thinking, "Oh my god, what happened?"
I think very intense.
Yeah, it was intense.
Very intense.
So I tell you what I kind of thought, and obviously I like really gritty stuff, and I like real things that feel real. Watching Joker, I had feelings of Breaking Bad.
I've not seen that.
Tony's not seen it either.
We'd like to welcome everyone to Paul's farewell appearance on Forget Where to Watch Film.
I had a lot of feeling of Breaking Bad. Society wearing a guy down, eventually he's going to snap. walking around in his underpants.
Well, that's a premise that's been covered loads of times by films, and the result is always a good story.
One that springs to mind is Falling Down.
Yeah, classic film. What is it when he wants a whammy burger?
Yeah, and it's 32 minutes past, and this
classic film. It also
Falling Down.
Michael Douglas, where he just goes mental.
Plays things just start bad happening to him.
So yeah,
and he basically
he's late for work,
and it just becomes to breaking point, and then eventually ends up with like machine guns and stuff.
It's a good film. But also as well, Edward Norton, he's the same in Fight Club. So that kind of like someone being beat down to the point where they've got no left always works.
That's kind of where I was going. I had feelings of Breaking Bad. I had feelings of Fight Club.
I'm not saying that either. I'm sorry.
You haven't seen Fight Club?
No.
Right.
That's why he's a special guest.
Yeah. Take that. Right. Yeah. So basically, what I didn't feel was Batman. It didn't feel...
I did. No. I totally disagree with you because I felt very Dark Knight. I think some of the long shots and the buildings were very Dark Knight.
I could see that.
The scene with Joker in the police car, very Dark Knight. I thought there was loads and loads of nods to Dark Knight in it, with the sort of like way that it had been filmed. It's as though he watched that was his favourite film, and that's what he sort of like did it from.
Well, last week,
as though that were done in 80s, because I think it was so good where it followed 80s theme.
Yeah, well, but I was thinking about this because it makes sense they had to put him into 80s because it gives him a little bit of mysterious. Nobody knows where he is, what's he doing. There's no camera phones, nobody's filmed him, they can't track him down. It's just easier for writing, isn't it? I think, really. Imagine if Die Hard were to happen today. It'd have just gone on Facebook. Look, I'm stoked. But
that's all well and good, but then what are you doing with, if this is a follow-on, if this leads... I want it to lead into Pattinson's Batman.
I do, desperately.
How does that work?
Well, that's the question.
Because if Pattinson's Batman is going to be at start, is it going to be at start now? Is it going to be a start in 90s?
Oh, they could do what they want, can't they?
But what I'm saying is, if they did Batman being Batman as a progressive Batman in 2019, what's that? That's 33 years ago.
So do you think this character of
Joaquin
Phoenix's Joker...
So Batman's going to be in his 40s. Joker's going to be, what, in his 60s?
So, do you think this character Joker, regardless of age, is a character who could fit in a Batman movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you look at Michael Keaton in the original Batman movie, how old is he? We could have a weather... I mean, Pattinson's going for the young Batman, which sort of makes sense going for the young one.
So they could put it in the 90s then, couldn't they? Make it like
exactly.
But I would have him as an established Batman. I think we've seen...
You're not going to be able to do that.
We've seen too many origins. I'm sick of seeing his parents die. I don't feel old when his parents die. I'm like him, I'm numb to it. Because I've seen it happen that many times.
What about Spider-Man when Uncle Ben died?
Yeah, sick of that and all.
Well, I think Todd Phillips has come out and said that they're not going to connect him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I'm sure they're a filmmaker. No, that's it. Christopher Nolan said that Robin would never feature in his trilogy, and obviously we all know what happened with that. So sometimes the studios can lie to you.
Tell you what I thought watching Joker, right? I would like, obviously, I like, this is right up my street, these kind of films. Very psychological, like on a human level, you're watching a character. There was no CGI whatsoever. Nothing. There were no... Somebody comes to save people at the last minute. It was like Taxi Driver, but in a comic book world, right? But what I was sort of thinking is, in an Avengers movie, say Age of Ultron, when the city collapses, Man of Steel when they're fighting in Metropolis, there's a lot of death and destruction. But why, when it's up close and personal, does it feel a lot more whoa? Because there's death in other movies, comic book movies.
You say about this thing being terrible, and there's not too many deaths in it.
I've read the body count. Do you want to know what it is?
Is it single figures?
6.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that one
that's
happened.
People complaining about this with 6 deaths in, and then look at look at John Wick.
It's not. I don't think it's the
nobody
deaths.
says all about John Wick other than it's fantastic, which it is, by the way.
Yeah, because he's an anti-hero, whereas this is going on as though it's like it's a villain, and the way it's portrayed is it could happen to anybody if society beats you down. If you're a young American who's got access to guns, what they're saying is it could inspire others.
I think what they did with John Wick, and I know we're on about Joker, but I think what they did with John Wick to separate it, they separated it from reality in a way where they produced this hotel and all coins. And what I'm saying with this, I think what scares people is it's very based in reality. Do you know what I mean? This could happen. This is a guy who's like every other guy who's dealing with the same issues that we've all got. Do you know what I mean?
I was actually watching it thinking, this isn't just an independent studio. This is Warner Brothers who've decided to make a Taxi Driver style film with the Joker. You look at America, most Americans, they hate their own president, countries almost at war with each other, and gun control. Surely they must have known when making this film, because it was mega influential, weren't it? Influential. You know what I mean? I was watching it thinking, this is like an actual proper
I think what you're saying, what I agree with.
I thought it were unnerving.
It's risky DC doing something like it. It's a comic company.
Oh, it's complete risk.
Showing those, it'd be like doing a Red Skull film and having it be like Schindler's List.
But the thing is with this film though, is what happens with the Joker all the way through to bring him down to this level. You completely understand why he feels like that, because everything that happens to him, you sympathise with him, and you can see how he gets beat down. Like, there's nothing that happens to him where you think, well, that's his own fault. It's all the circumstances around him.
Tell you what I thought were great. One moment I really thought were good. And obviously this could be a spoiler, but you've had a warning, so, at your own risk. At one point, Arthur, because we don't really know the origin story of Heath Ledger's Joker, do we? And this sort of gives you an origin story of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. But at one point there's a revelation that him and Bruce Wayne could be brothers.
Yeah.
But it sort of puts it on its head that isn't the case. But is it the case? So at first I'm thinking, what? This is a bit stupid. This is a bit weird. Next thing, did it happen? Did it not happen? I don't think it did. I think his mom...
I think the problem is the good thing about it is you're not sure... This is really done from the perspective of Joker, so you're not sure what's real and what's not.
Plus, his mum obviously was ill, so she could have fabricated that. I don't think they are connected.
Thomas Wayne comes across as a dick.
Yeah, I think it's a clever way to connect Joker to Bruce Wayne, because he looks at him and thinks like. That's like
that should be me.
Yeah, that's to me is like a good clever link to him.
Which is another thing that leads me to what I was building to was I think there is a bridge there. There is a connection to Bruce Wayne. So if they wanted to, they can quite easily put Robert Pattinson's Batman in that Joker universe, can't they?
I don't think there's a link. I think the link is that what he starts, what he creates, which is this sort of movement. Because people are fed up with rich, and it becomes sort of like the rich versus the poor and the downtrodden, and the downtrodden have their sort of like icon, which becomes the Joker, while the rich have their icon, which is Thomas Wayne.
Was Thomas Wayne?
Well,
he's very spoilerific.
He's seen. Well, we all know Thomas and Martha Wayne are going to die. It fucking happens in every film. So, but what I'm saying is that it's their icon versus their icon, and that's why they said.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
And that's the connection. It's not the fact that they might be related, which is
no, that's not what I'm saying.
But you're talking about Joker being connected to Thomas Wayne, but obviously the whole Batman story is Joker's connection to Bruce Wayne. So they needed a way for him to like look past Thomas Wayne and have some kind of agenda with Bruce.
Yeah, because the connection to between originally, even though you never ever really know what, it's never ever told what Joker's
obsession with
yeah.
Batman.
But
No,
it leaves it-
what his
Origin
origin
story.
is. They sort of tried to cover it in in Killing Joke, and that takes a lot from this. And obviously, the origin to Killing Joke is what were done in the original
Yeah.
1989
But this film
Batman.
still leaves it
so
up in the
that's
open, doesn't it?
where it is, because Batman creates Joker.
But yeah, that the same thing happens in this movie, and it leaves it up in the air. You don't know if it's true. Joker puts his hands on Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the Joker who created this uprising clowns, Bruce Wayne's going to grow up? He's going to look at Joker.
Well, no,
as
it's
responsible.
rather than Batman creating Joker, Joker creates Batman.
But then again, Thomas Wayne creates a Joker. It's like a loop.
No,
isn't
I
it?
don't think Thomas Wayne does.
Well,
So,
he did in that film.
No,
He did.
He didn't.
He did.
He didn't.
He did.
It was
He
the
didn't help the cause,
circumstances.
did he?
Yeah, that's true, Paul. So you don't say much, but what you do say is wise. He didn't help the cause because he cut the funding to the social workers. So
No,
Joker
he did cut it.
He did.
It weren't him. It weren't Thomas Wayne.
It were.
It was. He's running for mayor. It was the people who were already in charge.
Anybody
He was
who's
trying
seen
to
this needs
save
to
it.
clarify.
Yeah. No. I think Thomas Wayne became. This is what I'm saying. He's like the figurehead of the rich. He didn't do anything to cause the circumstances.
Yes, he did. First thing he does when, obviously, and in despair, upset, Arthur Fleck smacks him on his face.
Yeah, but if there's a guy coming in who's clearly off his head.
And obviously,
And has already threatened just. So you're telling me if a guy in morning threatened Amelia and you saw him in toilets that night, you wouldn't punch him in the face?
but
Well, answer the question.
maybe not.
Yeah,
If I'm a billionaire, well, like this guy, I don't know. There is a connection there between those
but
two
then
characters.
again, this is what I'm saying. Maybe that's not what happened.
Mm.
We know for a fact watching that film that a lot of it is all in his head. So maybe Thomas Wayne didn't even do that.
Who knows? Anything you want to add, Paul?
Yeah, I think it's quite scary how quickly a movement catches on. You know, like with the thing that happens.
It's like they were waiting for a reason to be able.
Yeah.
But another thing is with America as well, with gun control. Obviously, idiots first thing they do is look at movies instead of gun control. But that sort of film, a nutcase gets hold of a gun, and I don't think there is any connection with movies and films or whatever. But I was watching it thinking, this is disturbing, this, isn't it? I was thinking, this is unnerving. This is, by Henry, I was thinking, I really enjoyed it, but I was thinking, I don't know what I thought to that.
Spoilers, because I do want to get into a bit of nitty gritty. What was the point in the film that made you feel like this guy's insane? I'll start with you, Paul.
constant laughing, I would think.
Really?
Yeah. Uncontrollable laughing.
What about you? The first thing that happened that made you think this guy is clearly off his rocker? Or the point where he reached breaking point. And like I say, if you've not seen Joker, either skip forward or turn
I
on.
think was the point when he realised that some of the things that were joyous in his life that he'd been experiencing were all were not real.
Yeah. I think it was a bit with the pillow and his mom. That to me were where he thought, fuck this.
What about that bit before where he gets that paperwork and then realises everything?
Yeah, well, that's perhaps triggered it. Yeah.
I was thinking it's the loneliness, sitting there locking himself in his fridge, looking gone, walking around on his own, and having maniacal thoughts, and it would just.
That's the good thing about this film, because 4 of us who've just watched it have all took different points of it that we think helped triggered him. Do you know what I mean? So people watch this film and take all kinds of stuff from it.
But I think you can take. There are different views of this film, and I think it's ambiguous enough.
So,
and I think the director says it's ambiguous enough where you can make your own
I
decisions.
think he's a great director.
You can make your own decisions about what's really going on.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So obviously Joker is rated R. Do you think that's the way? Obviously, that for us it's a 15, but worldwide they call it, it's an R-rated film. Is that the way forward for R-rated films? Do you prefer that?
No, I
do you
think
prefer
it's-
that over an? So what would you prefer, Paul? What's your? Do you like classic DC movies, Dark Knight, original Batman? Are you a fan of Marvel? Which do you prefer?
I prefer Marvel. I do like the Dark Knight series,
Yeah,
but I do
yeah.
prefer Marvel. But it is
Yeah.
nice to have something with a bit of an edge,
Yeah, definitely.
something different.
So it's rated 15, rated R. Which So it's a rated R film. I was actually at points thinking, you know what, I'm enjoying this more than I would an Iron Man film. Because I like the nitty gritty, I'm a fan of The Dark Knight. But this isn't DC's first R-rated film.
What was DC's first R-rated film?
Have a think. Question time.
Blade's Marvel, innit?
Yeah.
You should know this. Of all people, you should know this.
I know. When you say it, I'll kick myself or have you kick me.
So
it's,
people say this is risky, DC's first R-rated movie, but it's not. And their other R-rated movie is a very well...
It's not Sin City, is it?
Deadpool.
No?
No, since this is Dark Horse.
I know Deadpool's Marvel.
No.
Come
Constantine.
on. No. I'm you'll know better than me whether this counts, but I've read online it was, and I had it in my head that it was. Do you want me to put you out of your misery?
Yeah, go on.
Watchmen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watchmen.
Which was crap.
No, it absolutely brilliant, that film.
They were
That
rubbish.
film is
I watched
absolute-
that.
Now that film is what an R-rated comic book should be about.
Yeah.
It tackles so many
But
issues.
there were no sequel, there were no franchise, standalone movie.
Yeah, because
Same as Joker.
they have actually only just recently done like done prequels, and they're doing a sequel at the minute, which has dragged on for about 2 years like a rotting carcass. Jeff Johns, I'm aiming at you. But Watchmen to itself was absolutely fantastic. That should have been done in exactly the same way.
Well, what I was going to say earlier, so DC's having success with these dark movies. Watchmen, well celebrated, people love it. Joker is doing really well. I can see it making over $1 billion, right? Obviously, their other characters are not working out. Ben Affleck's gone. Henry Cavill, we don't know what's happening with him. And as we said earlier, Jared Leto has been written out of the DC universe. What would you say is their next step? So you've got Marvel, which is things are changing over there now, but what should happen going forward? So do you prefer these standalone movies? Should they connect? Shouldn't they connect? Because you've got Wonder Woman, made over $1 billion. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm perfectly honest, I didn't enjoy that film.
Wonder Woman.
No, it was shit.
I didn't mind it. I thought it had
But this
good
is what I'm
scenes.
saying. Like, obviously, any of these there can be so different universes, which I think they're trying to explore with Marvel now. That there's all these different multiverses, which DC have done massively well before Marvel started getting into it. So you've got your sort of like universe, which is what they've tried to link Justice League in. Suicide Squad links into that, so does obviously now Birds of Prey. And now you've got this other universe with Joker. Plus, you can always then look back and say the other films, like Dark Knight, Batman 89, are a separate universe. So you
Yeah,
can
but then
do
does-
it.
is that
You can
going-
do it and say, these films... I think there's a place for R-rated films, and I think there's a place for PG-rated films. There's room for them all. And in comics, they do that. I mean, for every Killing Joke, there's a camp version like Batman 66. Everybody can have their piece of pie. So I think there is a place for this.
I think DC's hopes all, to me, rest on the Batman. If they bring the Batman out and it's crap, obviously it's just like, oh, here we go again.
Can I make a point, actually? I read earlier, because I was doing a bit of research, the top 10 highest grossing comic book movies of all time. Have a guess how many of those are DC?
3.
Top 10,
Yeah.
I would say 2.
I'd say the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises is definitely on there.
Yeah.
I'd say about 4.
No, everybody's wrong. It's one. One film from DC is in the top 10 highest
And what
grossing.
is it?
Have a guess.
Man of Steel.
I'm going to say Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'd probably say Dark Knight.
Aquaman.
Really?
Yeah, it made $1 billion, didn't it?
Aquaman made more than Dark Knight Rises,
Right.
Justice League. It's up there with Iron Man. So again, this is what I'm saying. All we seem to debate is comic book movies, but obviously it's our forte and it's what's hot at the minute.
Well,
so,
it's a massive...
what
it
I'm
is
saying
massive.
is Aquaman. That's in the top 10. So Aquaman, Jason Momoa, he ain't going anywhere, is he? He is
No.
here to stay. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, she ain't going anywhere. The Flash, who gives a fuck about The Flash? Ezra Miller.
No,
Who
but
cares?
I think but to
Also,
me,
while
this is
I'm
about.
saying, so Henry Cavill, don't know what's happening with him. Ben Affleck, we don't know what's happening with him.
Well, he's completely gone, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, Joker. It's blowing people away. So we've got a new Batman on the horizon, but yet we've still got Harley Quinn.
See, I don't
how does that
I
work?
don't think they should do another Batman movie. It's been done to death.
Yeah, but
There's all these
they are
characters.
doing one. So whether
Now, Flash is like Aquaman, Wonder Woman. If you've got a good story, and there's all these comics that you can pick from.
yeah, but
like
story,
a pick and mix.
story
A
aside,
good story, a good writer, a good cast.
yeah,
And
but
you've got
we
a
know
Guardians of the Galaxy.
it's
You
Ezra
would
Miller.
never have expected
it's
Guardians
Ezra
of the Galaxy.
Miller. No matter what story, it's the fucking.
Who's directing that film? There's a director who's done a film recently who signed on to do the Flash movie. Oh, it's the director from It Too.
I'd get rid of Ezra Miller and recast.
It's not happening. It's
I'd
happening.
recast and put somebody else in who
So-
is more akin to Barry Allen.
so the two-
Because Ezra Miller ain't, or even somebody like Wally West.
Just hold on. The two things that you've just said: no more Batman movies and recast the Flash. Those two are DC's next step.
How many
Yeah.
universe is there though to keep remaking?
Exactly.
Batman?
That's my point.
I think sure there's got to be a limit where they just stop making and just stick to one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they never will
I know
they?
they won't, but they should.
I mean,
It's getting a bit of
So
a
it can't
mess.
be
Can I ask a
overused,
quick
overplayed.
question? Joker is doing the numbers. It's a massive film. A lot of people are saying what they preferred between that and Endgame, because that could be DC's biggest film at year, Joker, and obviously Endgame was Marvel's biggest film this year. What's your take on the comparisons?
Yeah, I don't
Read
think
a
you can't
comparison.
compare them. You can't compare them. Two completely different films.
Do you know what I kind of look at Endgame as? And I know this is going to sound weird, but that's like my breaking up with Marvel film. As much as I loved it, I still just feel it's time. Now that's put to bed. It's
To give
time
it
to
a
walk
rest.
away. Yeah, I don't have any interest in the next step until it happens. Then I'll
It's
probably
Black
will.
Widow movie.
see, I've seen nothing.
We get to see what
I've
she's
seen
up to.
nothing coming up that's made me think, come on.
Natalie
What about
Portman.
Ghostbusters 3?
I mean, Marvel.
Oh God! Why did you have to put that in? We're not talking about that.
Marvel.
Don't mention. I'm not even going to sit there now. Shut up about that.
Marvel took
No,
a bit of
I'm on
a-
about Marvel films. After all these ones that they've mentioned, nothing is wetting
What
my
about Blade?
appetite.
I know it's a long way off. But
Yeah, but
that sparked my interest.
slightly. But then again, you're worried that it's not going to be no good. Like Blade TV show,
So-
no
And
good.
Blade 2.
I know the
And
thing
3.
is,
No, I like Blade too.
DC is a mess, right? And even us getting in a podcast discussion is messy, it's confusing. But what I'm saying is, Joker's doing well, right? That's its own entity. Wonder Woman's done well, massively. Aquaman has. But all the other characters, how can you carry Aquaman and Wonder Woman on without Superman or Batman? How the fuck is
Easy.
it?
Like, they did the Iron Man and Captain America films building up to Avengers, which was eventually building up to Avengers Infinity War. To me, you can carry on them films for ages without having them interact. I've said this before. You don't have to have them interact. You don't have to have a Wonder Woman film and put Superman in just because that's what Marvel do. Don't do it. Wonder Woman film can exist with just her and one of her sort of like storylines that you can pick from comics. Same with Flash, same with Green Lantern, same with Aquaman. They've got a rogues gallery as long as your bloody arm. Use them.
So what do you think to Ezra Miller's Flash?
I can't stand it because it's so far away from any.
Is that because
Oh,
it's Ezra
oh.
Miller, or is that because of how the character's been written?
It's because the character's been written. Barry Allen is sort of like a middle-aged forensic scientist who sort of like, the whole point is that he's always late and he's always a bit muddled and he never has time for people. Ergo, he gets these powers as the Flash because he gets hit by lightning while he's in chemistry lab. That's the whole point of that character, is that it's a twist on his character, if you know what I mean. He's right slow or don't turn up on time, but now he's the Flash. And even though he becomes the Flash, he still can't turn up on time for stuff because he's always fighting crime. This Ezra Miller character, who's supposed to be some kind of computer geek, I don't know, whatever the fuck he is, and then suddenly at end of Justice League says, I think I'm going to become a forensic scientist, was utter bollocks.
But that's still connected to Wonder Woman and Aquaman and the rest, isn't it? I don't see how they can do it.
Well, just don't mention
They've
it.
already
Or just
mentioned-
do another Flash and don't mention any of them. Just like Joker. That Joker, they've done a Joker film. There's no mention of Jared Leto or
But the
Suicide
thing is,
Squad.
let me counteract you with that, because they changed Joker's origins. They modified Joker's story for this film, and it really worked. Obviously, they've tried doing that with the Flash, and they've upset you a little bit.
Yeah.
So it either works or it
No,
doesn't.
they tried to modernise. Now, look at what they did with Lex Luthor when they tried to modernise him.
Well,
to
make
some
him like
kind
a
of, basically
hip,
Jesse
trendy young-
Eisenberg,
What, Mark Zuckerberg?
still playing Mark Zuckerberg, but now bald.
Yeah.
It didn't work, did it?
No, I don't think
No,
that whole
exactly,
film didn't work.
no.
You don't like Batman Superman, do you, Paul?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Utter
So
shit.
you know what I'm saying about they've tried to update these villains, which again is what I've said before. A lot of these villains and heroes were created in like 1936, many years ago when life were very, very different. But you don't always have to update them that much. So Flash Thompson is now some kind of Asian geek. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
ridiculous.
The integrity of why that character as he is as a bully can still exist in this day and age.
Well-
Lex Luthor as brains against brawn can still exist in this day and age. They changed him in like 80s to be sort of like a Alan Sugar type character. That worked. This bloody Mark Zuckerberg character did not.
So I think we're going a little bit off boil from Joker. But, so what did everybody, give me one word to describe Joker, and what did you think of it out of 10? Yeah.
Different, I think.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it a 9.
9 out of 10, that's
Yeah.
pretty good though.
Good to you, I'm still thinking.
Depressing, and I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I thought it was... It's hard to explain. Captivating. I was so like... Yeah, I'd give it a good 9 out of 10 as well. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. Go and watch it.
I don't know if I can come up with one word. I want to say scary, but
You
that
say
word.
it. Go on, love.
Yeah,
Say it.
okay,
We won't
scary.
judge you.
You're a
But-
big boy now, Thomas.
But
We will not judge you.
the word scary doesn't mean I don't want to say that the film scared me, but the idea that people can get that low because they can,
And
it
I
can
actually-
trigger people. That's the idea of that's quite.
I thought he did just as good a role as Heath Ledger, mate. Seeing him at the end, with sparking his fag up, with light on him, and I thought it
I
just...
would say it was 8 or 9 out of 10.
I would say that him doing that character was brilliant, but I just want to say one piece, and it's something I've just said, and something you said earlier. What I said about these updated characters, that's why they took this character back to like 1980s, because I don't think they could have done that same storyline now.
No, it'd have
Do
upset
you know
people.
what I mean?
It would have upset
Because
people.
I think it was of a certain time, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps it up about Joker. Fantastic film. So now, this week, is our special guest, Paul. You were listening. He's our special guest. So, first of all, I want to ask you, are you excited for Ghostbusters 3?
Fucking hell.
No.
If I'm perfectly honest, I know you're too. I've not seen the second one.
And you?
No.
Get the fuck out. Anyway, yeah, so
He's only seen the first one, that one we've been in.
Paul's been a listener from the beginning. I know we've only done 9 episodes, but it's good to have you on. You got any...
Yes. When you're talking about R-rated films and DC taking a risk, do we think Marvel took sort of a similar risk when they made Deadpool? With how violent it is, thinking whether people would like that sort of thing.
Fox made it, and they definitely took a risk. But I think they were the recent ones to show that R-rated films can work. Because not only did it make mega money, but it was a really good film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I don't even think it's about just the decision of doing an R-rated film, because I don't know if you... So the Joker was first introduced in like 1940. He's about 80 years old. And the reason he's stuck around all that time is because he's a good character. He's got a lot of depth to him. People love him. He's always stuck around. Other characters come and go. So to do an R-rated film like Joker really is the only way to do a character like him justice, really, isn't it? I mean,
But
we've seen great, you know
what
what I
about
mean?
But what about Deadpool?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so Deadpool is the only way to do that character
Yes,
justice.
with the
You
violence
could not
and-
do that.
To-
Child.
They could
Hold
not.
on.
They
You
did.
could, hold on. You could not do Deadpool child friendly.
No.
So
Well, they
Fox,
tried in X-Men Origins, didn't they? And it flopped
So
on its arse.
Fox decided to go out there and do an R-rated film. You know, doing the character justice. Next thing you know, it's made nearly $1 billion, and people are going crazy for it, which then leads to other films like Joker. So I don't think it was quite as big a risk as what Joker is, because it wasn't Marvel Studios that did it. It was Fox, weren't it? But still, what did they have to lose with the character Deadpool?
I don't think they could have done it a different way with that character. To stay true to that character,
Exactly.
they had to do that film that way.
But same with Joker today.
So I'll counteract your question with another question. Do you think that film would exist if Disney, Deadpool, if Disney had the full rights to Deadpool?
No.
No way.
No,
Because
wait,
it's
well, people are talking about now that Disney own Fox, Deadpool joining MCU. Not going to happen.
I don't think
and if
it
he does,
will.
not in the same type of character he is in his own film.
It's got to be different canons, innit? It's getting confusing which goes with which now, innit?
Mm.
So,
And the other thing I wanted to ask is about the soundtrack of
Right.
Joker.
oh
I
yeah,
thought it fit it
Yeah.
really well.
Gary Glitter. Yeah, what do we think to that? Every movie ticket people buy for Joker,
John,
Gary Glitter's getting paid.
What is Gary Glitter's best album?
Tom, you'll have to tell us, seeing as you're his biggest fan. I couldn't tell you.
Reminds me of a
Go
joke.
on, you were telling us earlier all his albums.
It reminds me
No.
of a joke. What's white and slides down a prison wall?
Go on.
Gary Glitter's latest release.
You had to lower it, Tom, Paul.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, why did you
Do you
make
know what?
us
I'm
do
not
this?
really sure what I thought to that, because using Gary Glitter...
I actually thought if it depends at what context they're using it.
Well, there's a
Because if
parallel,
they're
isn't there?
showing that that's playing in his head when he's like first transformed into Joker, then that sort of like links in, because that is a song that now, or maybe not to Americans but to us, brings shudders unless you're Tom and you're dancing in your pants to it. So
No
maybe
proof.
to him it was more of like, yeah, this is the song that's played in my head as I transform into
Yeah,
Joker.
but-
Something which is dangerous.
There's a parallel to it, whereas in real life, Gary Glitter wore makeup and he was all about glam rock, but really behind that, it were evil. And obviously, there's a certain parallel to playing that music over that point, and I think it really worked.
That, to me,
Yeah, I agree.
to me, you know, as brutal as Joker is, and it is brutal, that's probably one of the most shocking things, using a Gary Glitter song, isn't it? Because that's like, you know, you're watching it thinking, is this fucking right? Gary Glitter. You wouldn't get that in many other movies,
Yeah,
would you?
prefer to use rock.
But the thing is, if you listen to it a lot, that song, it's less shocking. Anyway, moving on.
Next question.
So, what are some of your favourite kind of films, and what are you a fan of, Paul?
Oh, don't ask me that.
No?
No, don't ask me
I know one thing you don't like. You don't like your horror films, do you, Paul?
I do not like horror films, no.
Oh, join. Come and sit with me.
Yeah, but
I
for-
can't stand
I don't like 'em.
I can't stand them at all. Boyd loves them. I can't stand horror films because they're so textbook, and it's like basically lately Tom's watched
You've opened
Tom's
up
watched
Pandora's
Paranormal
box here.
Activity. I've seen first one. Well, I fast forwarded it to end just see what happens.
Yeah,
which is what I
too
do with most
scared.
horror films. And now he's tonight probably watching Paranormal Activity 4.
I am,
mean,
actually.
because what they do is they jump on bandwagon and then make another 6. Like, how many bloody Saws is there?
I think you've hit a
I've
soft...
not seen any of
You've
those
hit a
either.
soft
Final
spot here.
Destination, that were a good film. 10 of them. Then next year they bring out Saw. That's good.
Give the
20 of
people,
them.
give the people what they want.
Do you know who's behind the new Saw movie? Who's
I
No
know.
Saw movie.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. He's the
Oh,
guy. He's
Jesus.
written it, bringing it out. Do you like Seesaw? Have you seen Saw?
I haven't seen
Seesaw.
it.
I like Seesaw.
You like Gay on Seesaw.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the film.
The
so-
Seaside.
I saw seashores at the seashore. Anyway, it's time to wrap it up. Another week done. Next week is our
That went right quick.
so next week is our 10th anniversary. It's our 10th episode. Woohoo!
One
Get your
more
banners.
question.
Go
Yeah.
on, fire away quickly.
Sorry. Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Heath Ledger.
We'll see who stands the test of time, I think. Because it's easy to watch film and come out and think he were immense. But I'd have to answer that question in a few months' time, but I do think
Do you know-
he did hold his own. Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix.
but could you have done that Joker without Heath Ledger?
Dark Knight one.
No, what I'm saying is, could you do this Joker now without that previous Joker existing?
Who knows?
I don't think you could,
Well,
because I think
it's time to wrap it up.
They
We
took
haven't got
quite a
time.
bit from that.
So anyway, like as always, like, subscribe, share, have a listen. Sorry if we spoiled it for you, but go and watch it. And don't forget work, forget stresses, forget work, watch films. See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Love you.